Good afternoon. Welcome, everyone. Happy Monday. And we are now in February. I feel like the year is just going off to a quick start, but I hope everyone is well. Welcome to the second Every Copy Counts webinar, the second installment of the year. My name is Anna Marie and I'll be your host for today. I'm very excited to be back hosting this again. In the first webinar, we had Rob Kitcher, who did some body percussions, which was super fun. And you are in again for a treat today, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be an interactive session. So a little bit about me. I'm a TV radio presenter. I've been doing this for about 6 years now. And I've worked for a variety of networks, a variety of clients. This is my handle, so if you wish to follow me, you can do. And yeah, I mostly specialize in music and entertainment. I'm currently on No Signal Radio doing New Music Friday, and I do a lot of things like this. And I'm also a resident host at Soho House. So Every Copy Counts is a new campaign to help get schools get the most out of the school's printed music license, which makes sure that composers and songwriters and people who make music get paid fairly for the music that is being used in schools, which is very, very important. If you didn't know, musicians, artists are one of the lowest paid people, one of the lowest paid industries until you really reach a high level, which is super sad. But with ECC, we hope to change that. And to say a big thank you to the schools who are sharing information about the music they are using. This webinar series will bring these composers, will bring these people directly into your school through this webinar. So we hope it helps you with getting creative. Now, a little bit about today's guest. Her name is Nicole Justice. She is a singer, songwriter, rapper, producer, super incredible woman. She supports community groups, schools, pupils, and she refers units and teaching music technology, vocal training, and is performance skills and works on performance skills such as organizations such as Mac Makes Music. She also runs her own company called Amber Music Group. She released and produced her first single, Personality, back in May 2021. And you'll hear a little bit more about that later on. But for you who are watching from home, if you are here, then leave a comment in the YouTube live stream. Let us know that you're active. Give us a wave, give us a hi, and I'll be sure to reply. Also, there will be some time for questions at the end. So while Nicole is chatting, make some notes and really pay attention to her presentation, because there will be time at the end to answer those burning questions. And that's it for me. I'm going to hand over to Nicole now.
Hi guys, thank you, Anne-Marie. That was an amazing introduction. Hi guys, thank you for being here today. I definitely want to thank Every Copy Counts, because I think it's an amazing campaign that actually links the artist as well as a student, and brings us together in a nice lucrative form, and to make sure that you get the best experience, and also to make sure the artists are getting paid for the work that they do. So I'm very, very, very privileged and happy to be part of this campaign. Like Anne-Marie said, I'm Nicole Justice. I'm a singer, a rapper, producer, and I'm going to share a couple of slides with you guys today to help you out so you can see a little bit more about what I do. So, I am a singer, I'm a rapper, I'm an actress as well. I released my self-produced single called Personality, which was available on all major platforms last year. I performed in arenas such as the O2 Arena, and also I performed at venues like the Hip Hop Splash Festival in Berlin as well. And acting in films such as The Quickener and One Day, which I'll explain a little bit more about later on. I've featured on albums like Benjamin Zephaniah, the poet, on his album, on a song called Hot like Jamaica. And I also launched my own company called Amber Music Group. I want to talk to you guys a little bit today about my creative process, and I want to give you guys some tips and tricks that you guys can use to be creative yourselves. Before I give you these tips, I just want to go through my process, and I want you to take any notes and let me know, as Anne-Marie said, any questions that you have about the process, and find any way that you too might adapt some of these ideas or skills. Now, during quarantine, as most musicians, I was a bit frustrated because I couldn't perform. I couldn't go to venues and see people perform. And as much as I love to perform, I also like to watch live music as well. And I felt like it was a kind of a disconnect between myself and my supporters, my social media kind of following as well. So I created a project called a series, called A Page in My Rhyme Book. Now that name, A Page in the Rhyme Book, I got from one of my favorite rappers, Nas, and who had a phrase which was, "You're a slave to a page in my rhyme book." So I kind of took that, but also used it because I only wanted to share one verse and one chorus with people. So a 1 minute snippet of an idea. This helped me to gain confidence in actually putting out ideas, try new ideas and different things, and also help me to interact with and keep the connection with my social media following. Now, I also rebranded as well. Now, a brand, just for you guys at school or at home, just so you know, a brand is anything that helps you to identify an artist, such as a logo or a t-shirt. If you can see this t-shirt here. For example, it could even be the font that you have that actually helps you to somebody to recognize your name somewhere, when it's on a flyer, a poster, or even on your social media. So, for example, Drake has the owl, and that owl has become a part of his brand and part of his logo. And when you see that on hoodies, for example, you'll know that it's his brand. So it's anything that helps to identify you with an artist, and it's also how you sort of manage your social media. It could even be some of the colors that you use. So myself rebranding, and I actually got rid of my old social media, started something new. So I had a really small following, but this actually helped me to be able to experiment and do whatever I wanted without any worries, but with the experience I'd had previously. One of the things that came out of this series and this experimentation was a song called Personality. Now, I created a tiny little 1 minute video for it, had a pretty good response, and then developed this into an actual track that I released on Spotify and Apple Music and all other platforms through Ditto. Now, distribution is something that's very important to artists because it helps us get our music to you guys and to listeners for them to be heard. So if you are an up-and-coming artist, I'm sure there's many of you out there, and you want to know how to get your music on Spotify, on Apple Music, we use distribution services such as CD Baby, Ditto, DistroKid. And please do make a note of those and go and research them. They have some really great videos, especially Ditto have some really nice videos on how to promote yourself, etc. on YouTube. So there's quite a lot of information there for you guys to get. This song, should I say, I'm going to kind of show you guys. I actually did quite a few things for this video, and another part of branding is the marketing of it. How do I get it out to people? How do people hear what I'm going to do? And one way they can do this is something called a rollout campaign. And what that means is before you release a song, you try and make a little bit of noise. You try and let people know. And if you were, I don't know, say The Rock and Kevin Hart, you'd do an interview with a top company if you had a film coming out, and that's how you promote the film. As artists, we do similar things. We do interviews, we do press. We also have something called a rollout campaign, and in that we use our social medias as well to help us. So you might have seen your favorite artist have pictures before their song comes out, and they might have one every day, and one might say 5, and the next one might say 4, and the next one might say 3, and the next one might say 2, and the next one might say one. And then the next one would be songs out now. Go to the YouTube and check it out. This video that I'm going to show you was a tiny video I made, very short video, leading up to the release of my song Personality. The reason I'm showing it to you is because you get to see my process, because I explain it in the video, and you kind of get a little glimpse about the Page in the Rhyme Book series. So we're going to go to the first video now. Justice, if you follow me, thank you. If you don't, hey, click on that button. Basically, I did a project. It's called A Page in the Rhyme Book. And what I did is I started it in the quarantine period. And it was really because I just rebranded and I wanted a way to test out new ideas, new kind of verses, videos and stuff like that with my followers. You know what I'm saying? We're small, but we're strong. You know, we stand strong together. I've learned how to use Final Cut Pro. I've become a little bit more confident with my production, my music production, and tried out different singing styles as well. One thing it enabled me to do was develop an idea, which was this track. And this track that I'm going to release is called Personality, and it's actually available on all digital platforms on Saturday, the 22nd of May. And I'm very happy and excited to release it to the world. Thanks for your support. Thanks for watching this video. Peace! Right, guys, so that single was called Personality, as you guessed. And one of the reasons I created it and called it Personality as well is because I really do think a personality is the best thing that you can have. I believe that it's really nice to be a bit, I don't know, quirky and use what's inside to come outside. I say the word quirky because I'm a bit of a joker. So in this video, which I filmed on my iPhone 11, and edited in Final Cut Pro, I actually pretend to be a nerd who's invited to a party, doesn't know what to wear. And then 3 helpers come out of nowhere and help me out. So I'm going to show you that in a second. But before I do, I'd just like to let you know, I composed the music for this song on Logic Pro. I wrote the lyrics, I performed it, I engineered it myself as well, which means I recorded the vocals and actually edited it myself on Logic Pro. I did send it to a professional to get it mixed and mastered because the quality of the actual song is something that I really do actually pride myself on, and want it to stand up next to anybody else's song that's kind of out there. So I paid to get help where I could, but made sure I did a lot of things myself. I filmed all the videos for the rollout campaigns myself and edited them. And like I said, I then filmed the video on my phone and edited it in Final Cut Pro. I'm not saying this to kind of toot my own horn. I'm saying this to let you guys know how much work goes into being an independent artist and how much we do. And I think it's really nice for you guys to be able to come behind the scenes with me and see what it took to make this video happen. And on that note, this is Personality.
Nicole Justice Beats.
So you're a person, personality, but you've got no personality. Personality, got no personality. They've got pens. Personality, got no personality. They've got pounds. Personality, got no personality. But they don't know how and never knew how to get down. Personality, got no personality. They got no personality. Got no personality. None indeed. Personality, got no personality. And I hope you see when you look at me, my personality. Personality, got no personality. They got none. Personality, got no personality. None indeed. Personality, got no personality. You look at me, and you will see I got no personality. That's got no personality. Tell me how you get through. Dry as you. Don't tell me how you get by. Tell me how you get high. like you do. Personality, got no personality. Nobody around me. No, nobody at home. But I got personality, so I'm never alone. Personality, got no personality. They got no personality, got no personality. None indeed. Personality, got no personality. And I hope you see when you look at me, my personality. Personality, got no personality. They got none. Personality, got no personality. None indeed. Personality, got no personality. You look at me and you will see I got personality. That's personality. They got no originality, yeah, it's a tragedy. But wait, they got a strategy, they'll show you their anatomy. Somebody tell these catties that I'm sick of seeing. I'm just trying to increase the peace and write the songs, release the beats. Relax, I know you make it at your own pace. Expressions in your hair, but none on your face. I hear the boys talking, but they got no bass. And keep it brief, cause you ain't got no case. This is a smile, does it look familiar? You need to liven up because the stress will kill ya. And bring your personality out. The world can't wait to see who you are and see what you're about. And if you're ever in doubt, just use your confidence. Look yourself in the mirror, give yourself a compliment. What makes you special is originality. So please let the world see your personality. They got no personality. No, no, no. None indeed. No, no. And I hope you see when you look at me. Personality. Personality. Ooh. Personality. They got none. Personality. Got no personality. None indeed. Personality. Got no personality. You look at me. Personality, that's personality. Hey.
Bye from me.
Right, guys, so that was Personality, my little single. And if you looked at the end, you'd have seen my logo, and that is a part of the branding that I was talking to you guys about. So I hope you enjoyed it. Yes, I am a joker. I've got issues. But I had so much fun making that video. You have no idea. And that I think is one of the best things for an artist to do is to do something that they like. So my advice to you guys when you're creating is to make something that you like, make something that brings you joy. And the chances are, if you like it, hopefully somebody else will like it too. I've also done some acting as well. So I was in 2 films. One of the films I was in was called One Day. And the other film I was in was a medieval rap film called The Quickener, which I'll tell you a little bit more about shortly. My company is called Amber Music Group, and that is a company I use online and in person to go around to schools, community centres, and work with clients of all ages and teach them music technology, vocal training, music production, and also some performance techniques. So feel free to go and check out my website and have a look and see if there's anything on there that can help you out. How I got into songwriting. Now, I come from a very, very musical family. So when I was little, most of my uncles and aunts either played an instrument or they sang or they did both. So my childhood consisted of me sitting around the piano at my grandparents' house, and my uncles and aunts sort of singing songs, anything from Nat King Cole to gospel songs to Frank Sinatra, believe it or not. And they were very, very talented and always inspired me to create and to sing. I also grew up in church. So I grew up singing, acting, doing a lot of dancing. I remember a lot of ribbons for some reason when I was younger in church. We loved to dance with ribbons. And the reason why I tell you this is because when I was 11 years old, they asked us if we wanted to perform an original song. And me and my friend remixed a song by a rapper called MC Light called Outside on the Corner. And we changed it into a gospel song and we performed it. It was at this moment I knew that that's what I wanted to do forever, believe it or not. And it was because I loved writing it, creating it, performing it, and then being able to share that with an audience. When I left school, I went to study music technology because that was something that we didn't have in my school. We had music, but we didn't have music technology. I know. I'm getting on. So I studied music technology and studied Cubase at the time, and I was really, really shocked at how many sounds I could put together, the fact that I could make a song, and the fact that I could actually make it from scratch and have a finished project that I could put on a disc or CD, whatever it was at the time. And I thought that was amazing to me. So when I left, I went to South Birmingham College in Digbeth. Shout out to my South Birmingham crew. And studied a BTEC in popular music. Now, one of the reasons why this was great is because it covered music technology, performance, and it also covered stuff like history and contextual studies, which might sound a bit boring, but to know what people did before you and be able to add on or change that or be inspired by that is a very, very good gift. So I actually got into a little rap group when I was younger, and I actually went around to different venues and actually performed. So I got lots of experience when I was in South Birmingham College with performing. We performed everywhere, the Irish Centre, Hare and Hounds. We just were everywhere in Birmingham we could be. And we were really kind of building up our own experience as artists. So that was quite epic for me. When I left there, I went to the University of Central England and did a HND in popular music. This was really good because I got to learn a lot more about music theory. I remember studying the Four Seasons, which was very annoying at the time, but taught me a lot. And I thought it was a really, really good kind of experience to have. So going to university and studying music really helped me out a lot as well. At the time, I began to open up my own recording studios as well. So I've had 4 recording studios. And at this point, I was doing a course called Supporting Our Sisters for women that went through domestic violence, and they do music therapy there. I then also moved premises again to another studio, had a mixtape called the Wonder Woman mixtape. Yep, I will tell you about that another time. DM me. I'm just joking. I'll tell you about that another time. But another thing I did at the time, which was very essential to my kind of progression, was I auditioned for a film. And like I said, the film was called One Day. They were looking for rappers. So I went there and auditioned as a rapper. And while I was there, they said they liked my song, which was called Mela from Mars at the time. And they wanted to use it in the film. And they also asked me if I could act. And having experience when I was younger, I obviously said yes and got a role acting in the film. That then led me to create a documentary about the work I was doing in my studio, which got picked up and commissioned by Channel 4 and became a 1 minute wonder, 3 minute wonder. I think it was a 3 minute wonder. It was years ago. But Channel 4 basically featured my documentary, and that kind of gave me a bit of a thirst for filmmaking. After that, I went on to perform, like I said, at the O2 Arena. I toured in Berlin, I toured in Spain. And I also went to university, to the Westminster University in Harrow in London, to actually study film and media, because I felt like I wanted to put all these things together, all these skills, and make it into a whole production. So to cut another longer story short, that's kind of where I am now, in a sense of using all these skills, putting them together, making my little mini movies, and then developing them on into actual songs and things for you guys to see. My process. So how do I do it? How do I do it? Well, ideas for me are everywhere. I find it hard actually to not have a good experience and want to turn it into a song, believe it or not. So I could have a conversation with somebody and be like, you know what, that's funny. I'm going to make a song out of that. Or I could literally see something in a newspaper or see something on social media, or something happens and I think, you know what, I really want to talk about that subject and I really want to make a song about it. Now, when that natural kind of creative energy is not there, there's also tips and tricks that I use and that I'll share with you guys that help me out. So for example, if I'm writing a song for somebody else, somebody says, yo, Nicole Justice, what you want a song? And it's about such and such. These are some of the things that I'll do. So I will start with a topic. Now, this is the time, guys, to get your pens out, get your pencils out, take some notes on your phone, do what you got to do. But these are my trusted tips and tricks that I know will definitely help you. So, first of all, find a topic. We're going to come back to each and every point, but for now, just flow with me. We're going to find a topic. Then we're going to find an associated word, which means, I'm sure you guys know what that means, but just in case you don't, I'm going to help you because when I first learnt this, I wasn't sure. Associated words are things associated with a topic. So, for example, if my topic was trees, just random trees, my associated words would be things that associate with trees, like anything from grass, the park, and green, which trees are, brown and green. And those are my associated words. So my topic is trees. My associated words are grass, park, and green. Next, I would like to find rhyming words. So I take those rhyming words and I'd rhyme my associated words like so. So for park, grass, and green, to rhyme with park, I'm going to put dark. To rhyme with grass, I'm going to put pass. To rhyme with green, I'm going to put beam, clean, screen. And I'm sure you guys can actually think of much, much better words. But this is just a basic example for you. Then, when I've done all of that, I'm going to then turn them into sentences. So I could say, I want to go to the park before it gets dark. That's the first line. Will I see you walk past on the green, green grass? That's for the second part. So green, so fresh, so clean. What a nice day. Let's catch a sunbeam. It sounds really simple, and I know you guys can come up with much better ideas, but I still like you to lock that formula in. So just to recap for you guys, we had a topic, we had an associated words, things that are associated with that topic, rhyming words, and then we turn those into a sentence. So just to quickly give you another one. What if the topic was a book? The associated words would be anything that's to do with books. So it could be pages, lines, chapter. Can you think of anything at home? Can you think of anything there that goes with books? And any answer you give will be right. That could be your associated words. Your rhyming words. So I'd rhyme with book, crook, hook, took, cook. For pages, as another associated word, I'd rhyme ages, stages, wages, and so on and so forth, and then turn those into a sentence and try and make a sentence where I have the rhyming words in the middle and at the end. So if you can go back to my example with the park, I want to go to the park before it gets dark. I've rhymed in the middle, I've rhymed at the end. Will I see you walk past on the green grass? Middle, end. So green, so fresh, so clean. What a nice day to catch a sunbeam. Now, another thing I did there was something called alliteration, which is when you use the beginning word, the letter from the beginning of the word over and over. And a really simple, that was with this so green, so fresh, so clean, because I use S, 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 S. A really simple example of this is repetitive rhymes. Now, this might seem a little bit childish, but I think we all need to be a bit of a kid some days. So I watched this cartoon when I was younger, and I always remembered the pattern. Always remembered it just because it was so simple and because it was so repetitive. And I just want you guys to watch the video and then tell me what the repeating word is and what letter that starts with, because we're going to study alliteration. So we're going to play the third video. third video in just a second. Bear with me. Right, so while that third video loads, oh, there we go. We're just going to rewind it back to the beginning. There we go.
Amber music.
This is how the story begins. In a dark, dark town, there was a dark, dark street. In the dark, dark street, there was a dark, dark house. In the dark, dark house, there were dark, dark stairs. Down the dark, dark stairs, there was a dark, dark cellar. And in the dark, dark cellar, some skeletons lived. There was a big skeleton, a little skeleton, and a dog skeleton. Woof.
I'm going to pause that for a second because I want you guys to tell me what the repeating line was and what the repeating words were. So it was dark, dark. Yes, you guessed it. You got it right. And if you've seen that cartoon before, good on you for having fun when you was young. So the two words that they use, a repeating rhyme, was dark, dark. And we can change that to joy, joy, or run, run, or fun, fun, rain, rain, sun, sun, and on and on. If I go back to my slides, you can see that what I've done here is changed dark, dark to sun, sun. The reason why I've done this is because in your verse, you will do the topic, the associated words, the actual repeating rhymes, the rhyming words, and also you'll do the actual sentences. But in a chorus, it's really nice to have something that is memorable. Now, we call a chorus a hook. The reason why we call it a hook, if you think of a fishing hook, is because it's catchy. Yes, bars. It's catchy and we reel it in. And the reason why it's catchy is because you can reel people in. You can get them to like your song and to remember it because it's really simple. Now, if I was just doing a show at the moment and nobody knew my song and I came in and did this next part I'm going to do now, it'd be really easy for you to join in, even if you don't know it, because it's so simple and so catchy, just like the dark, dark. So this part, I've changed dark, dark to sun, sun. And it goes, sun, sun, shine bright. Sun, sun, that gives light. Sun, sun, in the sky. Sun, sun, for you and I. And I'd like you guys at home just to copy me when I say sun, sun and join in. It's really quite easy. And I think you'll find it fun. 1, 2, 3, together. Sun, sun, that shines bright. Sun, sun, that gives light. Sun, sun, in the sky, sun, sun, for you and I. Nice. You've got the hang of it. You've got this. Let's do it one more time. Sun, sun, shine bright. Sun, sun, that gives light. Sun, sun, in the sky. Sun, sun, for you and I. And you can see how easy it is just to say sun, sun. Even if you can't remember anything else, you could not even know the lyrics and just come in with sun, sun. So for you to write a song and make it really, really repetitive and really easy is going to be good for you and good for the audience. And it really helps a lot with crowd participation. So you could have your microphone and be like, sun, sun, shine bright. And they go, sun, sun, that gives light. Sun, sun, in the sky. Sun, sun, for you and I. And then straight away, you've got everybody going back and forth with you. And you've got a whole exchange of energy, which I think is really nice for performers. Moving on. I hope that helped you guys. I am now going to talk just a little bit about composing. I think I have like a couple of minutes left. I'm going to try and fill them all up for you. So composing is something that's really, really essential to an artist. And I've heard producers tell singers just to play the piano, even if you're not very good, just move your fingers around, just get familiar with a couple of chords, because you do train your ears. Now, with composing, which you guys will be doing a lot of when you get your printed music, shouts out to every Copy Counts for making that possible once again, you will start very, very simply. That's what I want you to do. Now, the rule of thumb is this. Any two notes go together? No, yes, no, yes. any two notes, very random. So you might go dun 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 dun, which sounds like a very, very simple melody, but that is enough to start something off. So find any two notes and start off with a very simple melody. You can use things like samples to help you, but please be mindful of that and know that the samples have to be licensed. There is companies that help you do it, like TrackLib and other companies that you can actually purchase samples from. And we don't want to just plagiarize somebody else's song, but what's really good is to actually try and remake somebody's song just for fun. For example, just for fun. I say this because there's a footballer on TikTok, I can't remember his name, terrible, but he just remade a Marvel song the other day. I didn't even know he produced, but it was amazing. And it was to help him understand, as he was doing it, he was talking about the theory that the composers used to make the song. He talked about the chords they used and why they used it, and learning and listening to other people's music and trying to recreate it as a recreational activity will help you to understand music more. The last thing I'll say to you guys is trust your ears. Trust your ears. You listen to more music than you think you do because you listen on apps, you listen to films. If your friend says to you, "Can I sing you a song, bruv?" And you're like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Huh, yeah, You're like, no, it's not sounding good. How do you know it doesn't sound good? Because your ears tell you when something's off key. So if you're making something, you don't think it sounds good, trust that it doesn't, and keep going till it sounds good to you. And like I said, if it sounds good to you, chances are it will sound good to other people. Music theory is a brilliant tool. Please learn as much as you can, but also be aware that as much as you're learning music theory, there's lots of different things you might come up with creatively that will actually not in a structure of music theory, but actually will add to your song. So feel free to experiment, but use music theory as a guide. I want to talk a little bit about copyrighting your work. Just really quickly, guys. Once you create something, it is yours. You do own that as intellectual property. When you register your songs with places like PRS, write this down, guys, PPL, MCPS, these are companies that will help you to get your music out, but also register the date of when you submitted it. So if you register it before you distribute it, chances are when you're going back, you can prove that work was yours at the date when you registered it. Also, you can go by your recordings as well. Please do research and see if you can find companies which are out there, which will register your sheet music also. In Logic, there is a button in the editor called score. If your music theory is not that great, just still transpose it into a score and print that off and use that as as evidence, there's the word, as evidence of your work. And please do research different ways, because in different countries they have different societies that will help you to copyright your work, but please do that. Right, guys, now I just want to say thank you so much for having me. I'm not going to run away yet because you might have a couple of questions for me, and Anne-Marie is going to come back online and help us out in a second. But thank you very much for your time. I'm really, 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 really happy to be part of this campaign because I think it's awesome. So we're going to bring Anne-Marie back on, and I'm going to hear some of your questions. And just like I said, leave it in the chat, tell your teachers, tell whoever's in charge of the chat to get these questions to me, and I'm more than happy to help you out. Hi, Anne-Marie.
Hey, how was that?
It was good. How was it for you?
I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved the music video. I just love the colors that you've used, and you're super interactive and easy to watch. So I love that. I do have a question for you about the video, because it gave me really I felt like I was watching Nickelodeon like in the 90s. That's how I felt. So what was the inspiration behind that?
Well, the inspiration behind the video was to be honest, do you know the video with Chris Brown and T-Pain where he dresses up as a nerd?
Oh, okay, yeah, kiss.
Yeah. So that I really wanted to get that nerd kind of image and me just being like a bit of a clown. So if you notice, I've got like I don't know what they call the suspenders, and I've got the little bow tie, and I've got the like checkered jacket. I literally tried to study his video to see how he looked like a nerd, and I couldn't do that video justice, but that was like my inspiration. Also, I liked when I was, well, I still do now. I'm a bit of a like games, I like cartoons. So I tried to use the graphics as well, like behind me. If you notice, there was like from Star Wars and lots of like game over signs and stuff like that, just to kind of interact. So it was having fun, being a nerd, and also I love playing different characters as well as like.
Yeah, I can see.
I got to play.
I can see that.
The cool girl at the end who gets to go to the club and pick up the mic.
Yeah, I love that. I think it was such an enjoyable video. So props to you. And thank you to everyone for watching. If you do have any questions, then just pop it in the live chat and I will ask that now. Another question for you is there a composer or a songwriter, producer, or anyone that you admire? And if so, who and why?
Who and why? Do you know what? There's loads. I would say, for the purposes of this, I would say Bruno Mars is probably someone who I really do respect. And one of the reasons why is because he's been going since he was like tiny. You can Google him and you can see him dressed as Elvis as a 4-year-old. Like he's like literally on stage with Elvis singing. He's like 4. It's just so cute. But it's to show you the kind of determination that he still has in his art form to keep creating new things. So not only does he sing and, you know, he's very musical, but he always tries to do something new. He always tries to bring different styles when he comes out. I can't remember the song that he had with Cardi B, but I know it's on the
baby. Yeah.
So that, like, he was remaking a lot of like 90s stuff as well. That was really, really cool, which is nice because it's things we haven't heard. And then lately he's done the album with Anderson .Paak, Silk Sonic, which is just epic because he used a lot of things from the 70s as well. But one thing he said in his interview was that he works with the best. He works with Smokey Robinson, he works with Babyface, he works with songwriters from before his time to try and bring in and keep up a certain standard that they've kind of worked towards, as well as add something new to it. So for someone like that to be so talented, be going through so much, been performing from such a young age, but then still find the enthusiasm to try and always learn and know that he doesn't know it all. Does that make sense? And he's always still learning. That's really inspirational for me. And I feel also for students to see that you can never stop learning. You're always trying to make yourself better as a musician, and nobody knows it all, but it's a passion and drive that keeps you going.
That's great. That's a great answer. I really do like Bruno Mars. He's one of my favorites. So great answer. What do you like most about songwriting and social media?
Well, I'll try and make this quick. I actually like the fact that I can interact with my audience and my supporters straight away. So, for example, my Page in the Wine Book series, I can literally make an idea and put it out there. So, for example, last night, the night before, that song, Talking to the Moon by Sam Tompkins. I basically took that instrumental, wrote a version, like if I was on this song, this is what it would be, and was able to make a little video, put that on my social media and put that out to people straight away and get a response. So I love how connected you are to people that support you and how easy it is to get feedback as well, like straight away.
Great. I'm afraid we have run out of time. We've come to the end. But I could talk to you all day. I feel like you're super interesting. And you've just got a lot of music knowledge, which I love. But it was an absolute pleasure to have you on today. Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone who has been watching live on YouTube, or if you will watch this later, thank you so much. I hope you learned something and you will take the many tips that Nicole provided for you with your music careers. I've been Anna Marie. This is Every Copy Counts. We'll be back again next month with another webinar. So make sure to follow us on the socials and visit us on our website, and just to stay up to date with everything that we have going on, because it's going to be great. So thank you, Nicole. Thank you, everyone. And I'll see you again soon.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.